As Kevin Harvick said yesterday, about 11 miles an hour faster through the center of the corner than they were a year ago. And I think that is going to have a dramatic effect on these cars on long green flag runs. And I do expect to see a number of green flag runs. It will be much harder on the tires with all that extra speed in the corners. And it's really going to be incumbent upon the drivers to adjust their driving style. And they're going to be able to do that because for the first time ever, they will have an in-car track bar adjuster. Some of the crew chiefs said, I'm going to tell my driver that it's in there, but it's not going to be working. Well, I don't think that's really true, but it really will make the job tougher for the crew chiefs. 24 degrees of banking, as I said, in the west end of the racetrack. That's turns 1 and 2. And though it's still a little bit cloudy, it is getting a little bit brighter, and that's the very good news. Though it is chilly and a bit breezy down here. Once they exit turn 2, they'll work their way onto the back straightaway, just about 6 football fields in length. They'll go from 24 degrees of banking to about 6 degrees of banking, and that can upset the cars. So we will see them 3 and 4 wide as they exit the corner, and probably even more than that headed down the backstretch. And about the midpoint, picking up the call will be my broadcast buddy, the racing guy, also known as the racing nomad, and that is one Pat Patterson.
Thank you very much, Rob, and a very happy race day to everyone. And as Rob just described, 24 degrees of banking down here in turns 3 and 4. I'll grab them about halfway down the backstretch, and yes, they'll keep the cars right out next to the wall until they want to arc their machines into the corner here. At the beginning of this race, down here in turns 3 and 4, everybody will be hugging the bottom of the racetrack. But as we get 4, 5, 10 laps into this, once we get the green flag running, they'll start hunting lines all over this racetrack. In fact, it won't surprise me to see guys up next to the wall within the first 20 laps of this race, just trying to find a good, solid place for their cars to run. You heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the beginning of our pre-race show talk about Atlanta Motor Speedway is one of the most funnest places he goes to. I think he said it was the most funnest racetrack. Well, let me tell you something. From where I stand out here in turns 3 and 4, this is one of the most funnest corners in all of NASCAR, because about halfway through a tire run, you will see guys doing everything trying to hold on to their race cars. And the guys that can do that the best today and save those tires are going to be the ones that are going to be racing for the win this afternoon here in Atlanta. We'll be your eyes and ears. We'll keep you up to speed on everything in turns 3 and 4. We're going to have some fun today in Atlanta.
And once they exit turn number 4, they'll come onto the front stretch, not the front straightaway. It has a couple of left-hand turns in it, very slight, and the drivers try to straighten it out the best they can. But it's about 2,300 feet. Again, the backstretch is straight, 1,800 feet. And if you've seen the Texas Motor Speedway, if you've seen Charlotte, this racetrack, again, looks like it. Not like those two tracks, because this asphalt, actually the second oldest asphalt surface in NASCAR. And so the surface makes this track different from any other. But the layout, very similar to Texas and to Charlotte.
Golf courses and racetracks, they improve with age. Drivers don't want fresh pavement, and they're not going to get it anytime soon here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. And by the way, for all of you English majors that just cringed when Pat Patterson used the word funnest, that is an approved word because Dale Earnhardt Jr. uses it. And if Jr. uses the word funnest, that means it's okay for any of us.
Well, you look up the Junior Nation Dictionary, and it's right there.
It's funnest.
Funnest is right there.
Funnier, funniest.
And
funnest. Yeah. All right. So with apologies to all of your elementary school English teachers, we're about ready to get started here. We do have cars on the racetrack, Mark, but they are still broken into 2 different groups and behind the pace car here. And it's going to be a few minutes yet before they turn them loose, and these cars are at full throttle here in Atlanta.
They're running 55 miles per hour, Doug. That is how fast the pace car will run this afternoon. Pit road speed, 45 miles per hour. Also want to remind you, PRN back on the air next week from Las Vegas. We'll have long-form qualifying for you, basically lap-by-lap qualifying for you, the 3 knockout rounds on Sirius XM NASCAR